Hi and welcome to AFTV. I have Dan with me off the back of a 3-0 defeat. Bro, it was terrible today. 2 shots on target from Arsenal. I think it was 35% possession from us. We weren't in the game from the first whistle. What was your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, it's a shambles. Let's be honest. It's a shambles, brother. And I think that, listen, I went into this game thinking we'd be lucky to get a draw, so I wasn't expecting a win. I know Liverpool have had a poor season, but I think if you look at the actual first half, that summed up Arsenal and Liverpool's whole season. Negative, boring. Nobody wanted it. Didn't look like it was going to happen for either side, if I'm honest with you. But there's been 5 times that we have had 3 shots or fewer since 2003. 4 of those games have been under this manager. 4 of those 5 games since 2003 have been under this manager. This guy is not good enough. I'm sorry, man. And listen, I've been saying it for a while. I was buzzing after the North London derby, as everyone was. Of course, we were happy to be through into the Europa League. Everybody is different for those games, because we know Europa League could save his job and our season, and also North London derby. I just don't accept losing those games. But this has been too often now. How long have we got to put up with this for until we something starts to change? Because I'm being told to trust a process, and if I'm having to be trusting that, then I want out, because there is no flair, there's no creativity. We couldn't string more than 3 or 4 passes together. There was no understanding from this manager, which looked lost on the side. There was no substitutions till 76 minutes until we saw a creative side. Just poor, bro, poor. And people have told me that this manager has sorted us out defensively. We've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games. How is that sorting us out defensively? I look at the situation and think that people say, trust Arteta, trust his process. My reply is, look at the league table. We're on the same points as Leeds. What is going on here? And this isn't like a knee-jerk reaction from one game. I've been saying this since October when we lost to Villa, Burnley and Wolves on the bounce at home. And now we've seen another embarrassing defeat against a poor side, by the way. Good players on the pitch, but they've been really, really poor this season. They were there for the taking. They didn't turn up today. They've got 2 kids at the back that we could not score against. And we've got 3 of the most expensive Premier League strikers, and we can't get them playing together. If Aubameyang sorted out, more effort on the pitch as he does to doing his hair, then we might have a chance of having half a decent game. This guy needs to pick his form up. I don't know what's happened to him, but mentally something's happened to him, Cecil. Lacazette today I thought was poor. Pepe, I don't know what Arteta's doing with this kid. One day he's on the left, next day he's dropped for 3 games, then he comes back on the right. He's got a different right back behind him every single game, whether it's Chambers, Cedric, Bellerin. We don't have any consistency within this. And I said earlier on that we become a novice club, and I stand by that. And the reason I say that is because we've got novice owners that don't know anything about football. We've got novice board with Edu, who's the only difference from a couple of seasons ago. Nobody can tell me what Vinay Van Karten's doing. Nobody can understand what these board of dinosaurs are still here at the club for. We need some Arsenal blood and Arsenal men in this board. And that has led to the pitch, because we've got a novice manager, we've got a novice in Edu, and now who is performing for us on the pitch? The novice players. And today, we miss those novice players in Saka and Smith Rowe. We are missing them now. So for Saka, who scored 5 goals, by the way, and Smith Rowe, who's only kicked a ball in the Boxing Day, we're now missing them players. That's how bad we've been. That is how poor it has been. So I'm ready to kind of wash my hands of this manager. My problem is it's not going to happen. Even if we lose every game to the end of the season and go out of the Europa League, we're stuck with him because we're in this process. Now, I've been trusting a process for 16 years, since we knocked our stadium down to compete with Barcelona, who, by the way, we were competing with already in 2006. We got to a Champions League final with them. So why did we knock our stadium down to come to this? And I know it's not Arteta's fault that we did that, but this is a process that I've been trusting for 16 years. Why do I want to trust a process that people in charge have messed up for 16 years? Why do I want to trust the same people in charge to take us forward another 16 years? So my fingers are pointing at the board and the owners here, not just Arteta. I don't think he's good enough. I never wanted him. I wanted an Ancelotti or an Allegri or a Simeone. Then we were given Emery. When Emery went, I wanted one of those names again, even if it was Rafa, because I know a lot of people turn their noses up at Rafa Benitez or Brendan Rodgers, but at least they had the experience. I didn't want this Novice. I never wanted him. So we need to be really, really careful now about how we go with this season, because Thursday night is huge, absolutely huge, mate, massive.
Yeah, no, Dan, you speak so well there, bro. Like, honestly, you're right. Even for me, I've been a trust the process candidate. I've been the one campaigning for it, unfortunately. But now I'm like, I have to look at the performances and think, well, what's going on here? Like Aubameyang and Lacazette, for me, I want them to be playing in the same team. That's what I want. I feel like they should be able to. They're both elite strikers, but they're not. And who do I look at when it's not working? I have to look at the manager, and we are trusting the process where we're just kind of being led down a road that it's not looking good at the moment. It's actually very worrying. And the thing that also frustrated me is the fact that was that it feels like, because I was speaking to fans before, they were like, listen, we're not really doing too much in the league right now, so I'm not too worried about what happens. But the players shouldn't have that mindset. That's what it looked like from the first whistle. Like they looked like they didn't care either. And I can't afford to watch that, and it infuriates me seeing that. I hope things do definitely change. Like you said, it's massive now. Thursday nights, a lot of pressure is on Arteta, if not already, definitely now for Thursday nights. I want to ask you: are you still sticking with the same managers that you want to come in? If he does go, who would you want? Do you still want Allegri? Do you still want those sort? I know they might not be available, but they're the sort of managers you'd still want to come in if he was to go.
Yeah, I wanted, when Wenger left, I wanted Simeone. Everyone said, who do you want, Dan? I said Simeone straight away. And then when it was looking like it wasn't going to be like that and Emery was going to come, or it was going to be somebody like that, then I was okay, because at least Unai Emery had experience with PSG and also Sevilla, and he won 3 Europa Leagues in a row. And that's what we needed to win. When he went, I wanted Ancelotti, and unfortunately he went to Everton. I still wanted either Rafa Benitez or Allegri, because at the time Rafa was in China, Allegri was available, and we got Arteta. For me now, we need an experienced head. Rafa Benitez would probably be one of my choices, because 1, he's available, 2, he's done it in the Premier League, and 3, he's done it in Europe. So that would probably be one of my first options. The other person that I would look at would be Allegri, because he's been a winner and he's had experience with it. If we were to look towards more of a younger coach, I would personally look towards Nagelsmann from Leipzig, because I think that he's one of the most up-and-coming experienced managers there. I would rather go for a Marco Rose or Ten Hag or Nagelsmann. I know Rose is going to Dortmund, so that's not an option. But Erik Ten Hag and Julian Nagelsmann, if you wanted to go down the younger route, at least they've got the experience in the Champions League and in their leagues. Arteta doesn't have anything. So for me, it would be a name that has experience, whether you want to go with a younger coach or experienced one. If you were to ask me now, who do I want? I would go for Rafa, because I think Rafa would give us that defensive stability that everybody loves from Arteta. But I think he has an understanding of how to actually move forward. And I think what he did at Newcastle was underrated. And obviously what he did at Liverpool was bring them home some European glory, which we'd love. So I would go for Rafa, I think.
Definitely. Listen, Dan, you've been spoken so well throughout this. I'm gonna wrap up in a second. I just want to quickly ask as well, just to round off, if Arteta does, which I don't see happening right now, the Europa League, wins it, do you give him time, or are you still like, nah, do you know what, I've seen enough to know you're not the right man for me? Or would you say, do you know what, well, I'll give you your window and I'll give you the start of the season, but I'll be keeping a very close eye on you throughout?
The harshest thing to do is to sack a manager when they win. However, and there is a however, I've seen big clubs do it before. Avram Grant was a penalty kick away from winning the Champions League. Di Matteo won it. They got sacked. I know it's Chelsea, but Real Madrid do it as well. Big clubs do it. If they don't think it's going right, they get rid of him. And even the Europa League, I don't think should save him, but it will. I think personally, I've seen enough to see this guy, unfortunately, does not have enough experience to work with a side which is bang average in certain positions. But you can't tell me, Cecil, that there's a majority of the fan base that believe that Unai Emery did a worse job than Mikel Arteta with a worse side. And people will say, oh, it's not a worse side. He had a much worse side than this side now, because he had El Neni, not Partey. He had Monreal, not Tierney. He had Welbeck and Iwobi and Mkhitaryan, not Saka and Smith Rowe. And Socrates and Mustafi at the back. So come on, man.
Yeah, that does say it all. And do you know what? Through this fan, yeah, bro, Dan, thank you. I look through this fan cam. A lot of things you said there. It's even swayed my opinion. It has swayed my opinion a lot. And as much as I'm definitely against the cancel culture of managers and cutting managers and bringing in new managers, I hate it. But when things are this bad, you really have to start looking and finding answers. And it is right now heading towards a manager. I've got troops in the background as well, agreeing with everything you're saying as well.
Everything.
He's agreeing with everything you're saying. So big up to
everything.
Cheers, troops. Much appreciated, bro.
Round of applause.
But anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you again. Dan, we'll speak soon. Thank you, bro.